He says, look, I've got to find Betty Lou, whatever it costs you, whatever time, I've got to find her. And I said, hey, I think we can do that. And so, anyway, really, I looked for it, and it took me a while. I don't remember the thing, but I think she either won a door prize at something or wrote a cookbook or did something like that, which had no way of doing it, but it happened to have her married name under it. So that way I was able to find her. And the other thing is some of these people that no way, through trial and error, I'll do their family tree, find their husband, go back and find a generation or so to find out who his relatives are. Maybe we can call one of them. Because generally speaking, unless somebody is out of the country, say in some kind of a convalescent home or something where they don't have a phone, they don't vote, they don't drive, they don't have a car, they don't have an electric bill or something, or if they're in the witness protection program or something like that, I can't find them. In other words, some I've just had to say, they're out there somewhere. But according to the information in here, and the good thing about People Finder is that the age, because that's why I did so poorly when I started on this, I had no way to break them out by age. And if you're looking for, say, a Jack Davis, my God, there must be 2,000. And I've got to know the one that was doing, that's this age. And you can go in People Finder and search by age, the name, and I want this one born this stage. Varami will do that too, and a lot of these are free. People Finder's not, but Varami and Pipple and some of those that you go in will give you an idea. It won't give you the street address, but it'll tell you, okay, they're living in the town. And then if we go into town and we narrow it down like that, the magic bullet really, if I can get the age, and this doesn't work all the time, but if it's a small geographic area, I can get the computer to search by first name, that I can put in your birth date and your first name. If I'm looking for Wanda in Milton, I could find her with a birth date. Now, if I'm looking in New York City for that, no, it'd be too many. But these are just some little tips that I found the way. And the most thing is, if you have the information, enough identifying information, we can pretty much find them. And I'm not the only one that does this, but I just really enjoy doing it. It's something that keeps me off the streets. And something I really enjoy doing, especially making people happy like this. You just can't buy this happiness.
We'll be back in just a little bit with the final segment of the show, so stick around. Welcome back, everybody, and we've just ignored a lady over here, Miss Edna. We just not asked you a lot of questions, but I know this had to mean a lot to you, to finding out, your entire family.
Definitely. I have looked some myself years ago, but could not find them. And I just can't tell you how.
I know it's got to be heartwarming. Boy, let me tell you, I've been through that myself with me and my brother, but boy, let me tell you, it's just something you wonder about that. It never goes away when you start wondering about it.
I was 12 years old when I found out that I was adopted, because my adopted mother and dad didn't tell me. Okay. And one of my mother's brothers told me that he told his pastor, this is my sister's adopted child. Well, I didn't understand what adopted actually meant back then. But I found out, but I never told my adopted mother and daddy that I knew until I was getting married. And then I told them. But I have a wonderful family in Louisiana, but I can't get to see them that much.
Well, I know they're there, and they know you here, and they come by to see you and call you. So, it's just wonderful that you've had the ties back with that missing family. It's just one of those things that, and that's the reason we're bringing you this program. It shows you the heartfelt thanks of getting to know missing family. It's just one of those things that until you've been there and done that, you don't know how you feel. And like my brother, he had lived with that all those years, knowing there was something wrong, but did not know what it was. And he'd kept quiet about it until that night he just broke down and he just couldn't take it any longer. And he come, of course, he come to me. He always comes to me. You would think it'd be the other way around, but he would come to me and try to get those answers. And if he has anything to this day, he will do the same thing. If it's paperwork and different stuff like that, he always calls me. And I said, do it yourself, you know. So he's finally gotten to doing some little stuff, and he's looked up some stuff for me that I didn't want to fool with. I'll just be honest with you, but he owes me big time, so I was taking advantage of it. Okay, and let me ask you if there's a name that we were talking on the break there about a sweetheart. Do you have a name?
Yes.
Okay, right. We're getting personal now, aren't we? All right, Linda, you want to put a name out there?
Yes, there was a young sailor here, and his name was Robert Webster Patterson. And I know he was from North Carolina or South Carolina, and but that was a long time ago, and he left Pensacola in 1960.
Okay, boy. You jotting it down, aren't you, John? Okay. John, we got a couple of minutes left. I want you to do the close of the show and just tell everybody, you know, that what you feel when you see these families reunited.
Well, this has been a real experience for me. And like he was saying, unless you were an adopted person yourself, you know, you have this big hole back there. You know, really one of my folks, what they look like, what they do, or something which you don't know. And, you know, they've changed the laws in Florida. Most states are what we call closed adoption, meaning the birth parents and the adoptive parents don't know each other. There's no communication. Others have gone to open, where about, you know, they know who each other, they know them and they converse in some way, the emails or cards or whatever. If you're willing to go through a little paperwork, especially in Florida, you know, it's worth a chance. If you want to know the records are kept in Florida here, it's in the county that you were adopted in, and there's probably a pretty good chance that we can find out who it is. You know, if you're willing to, again, go through a little paperwork and go before the judge and do it. And again, I'm just glad to be a part of this. It's something I like to do for enjoyment. And in your case like this, let me say, guys are easy to find because they don't change their last name. And when you have the magic bullet here, we'll see. But we can do this. But again, thanks for having us here. And because when I talked to you before we came here, this is just a wonderful experience to meet these people and to see good things happen to good people. You know, if you know enough to identify somebody, if the only thing you know is it's Betty Lou and she lives somewhere in Texas, I don't know if I could help you. But if you know the age or some information of where they are or something like this, enough that I can identify them, then there's a chance we can find them. And again, thank you for doing this program, because I think the story of these folks really needs to be told.